going on in education as well as some of the issues that brought us all together to again see how ill black educators are across the country as well.
And ladies, he texted me and hit me and said, I'm doing this Zoom, and I'm not good with long texts. So all I read was I'm doing this Zoom, and I'm just like, whatever, bro, just let me know. And I showed up and I saw these principals and all the things that they were doing, their concerns. And every week after I got on the line with them, I kept going on. And even with issues that I had with bigger pictures, whether it be with a congressman, a senator, or even with a Kanye, I've always been able to call y'all for advice and to be able to understand the actual problems that we're facing within the school and the education firsthand from people that really care. So, my thing is, like, number one, you've been saying this from the beginning. There's not going to be any school, no one's addressing it. And homeschooling is the only option, or what do you call homeschooling?
Remote learning.
Remote learning. And at some point it's going to have to be dealt with. And it doesn't work very well.
Yeah.
So I feel like the most pressing issue is educating our future correctly. I think the education that's been presented to us systemically has made us think we were number two and given us the wrong values. When I do see people really that care, that are doing what they need to do, but they're also doing more than what they have to do, what they get paid to do. And my biggest concern is I'm sitting on a Zoom and I'm hearing principals putting, they're loving other people's children before they're even worried about their own safety. And they have to be concerned about someone giving them permission to stay home. And I just don't think it's fair.
No doubt. Well, with Dane, I think just like any leader, you gotta stand up for those things and those people that you are protecting. And kids have a unique way of touching us in a way touching our hearts in a way that we're willing to sacrifice it all for them. And that's what true leadership is about. We got into this work to protect children and to do what's best for children. And sometimes that also might mean putting yourself in harm's way to do so. Similar to what a firefighter might do or a law enforcement officer may do. As school leaders, real school leaders are going to do it. They're going to put their lives on the line.
Yeah, but I feel like the people that are giving them the orders are not putting their lives on the line. I look at our so-called president. His son's not going to school. He's going to learn remote. I just don't think anyone, like a lot of the principals were like, I may have a certain issue, my family may have, a member may have a certain issue, but I'm going to do what I got to do regardless. But I just don't expect anyone that's been oppressing us to help us now. Anyone that's been giving us a certain education to make us think living a certain life, to me that looks like slavery, is going to help us now. When I look at you guys were talking, and you had certain categorizing, like you're gonna do plan B, plan A, C. I don't know how to say it, as you were saying.
So reopening plans.
But my point is, every plan sounded like prison.
No doubt.
Nothing worked for a child that I am raising, and I don't know how to. I know how to help, but I don't expect no one else to help.
No doubt. Well, then, keep this in the forefront of your mind, though. Again, many of these decisions are made on the state level, and then trickle down to the local. And so many of these principals are doing what they've been told to do, and it's no different than what their life was before the pandemic. Decisions were made from the state level, from the local level, and then on the school level. So the struggle that principals across the globe is going to always face is they're not the real decision makers about policies. They're decision makers about what happens in the school.
That's clear. What I'm saying is, I'm not depending on them, and I'm not going to put the principals in a position where they got to do the job, but we got to do something.
No doubt. You know what I'm saying? Well, doing something is what some of them are doing right now. And if that something is going out on the battlefield for these kids, then they got to do what they got to do.
They got to be safe.
I understand that. I understand.
They don't deserve that.
Oh, no, dang, you don't get an argument with me with that. What I every single day is about putting our lives in jeopardy.
Yeah, but the people that are giving the orders to put your lives in jeopardy are not putting their lives in jeopardy, and I don't think that's fair.
But again,
The people that they're taking
so
orders
they,
from are not risking their lives.
but here's my thing then, so
They
what
think that
should they do?
I think they,
What
again,
should
it's not
they
what
do?
they should do, is what are we gonna do on our own.
Basically, what you're saying is that children's lives don't matter to the Board of Education.
I don't think any human life matters to any state, country, when it comes on a corporate level. I think people are looked at as expendable, and I think the education that's presented to us is to control us, to get used to being used to going to jail, used to sitting in the house, or used to sitting behind the desk when the daylight and the sun is out. You know, used to being told what to do.
So how do we move forward?
That's my question.
Well,
That's the same question I've been asked.
Well, again, the moving forward part is what people are doing. People are doing what they've been told to do at this point. And until
That's not moving forward.
it is moving forward
You
because
do what you
the
told to
kids,
do?
absolutely. If that's what they were
By
being
someone
told,
that doesn't want to help people?
well, they were told what to do because they were told
trust
what
somebody
to do
that's been trying to?
because they were told what to do before the pandemic.
Exactly. So
Okay.
again, my point is, these people, I'm not knocking anybody for doing what they need to do, what they think they have to do to survive. I'm saying from the outside looking in, I got credit for. What can I do?
Well, again, you're bringing a great deal of attention and light to the principals. You are talking about it, but I'm still going to tell you, at the end of the day, they work for somebody.
Yo, bro, I'm gonna tell you this. If in 6 months we on a Zoom and we lost the principal to COVID because they went and I'm not gonna be alright with that. I'm telling you.
I agree with that, Danny. But
And I don't want to hear nobody that
but what-
wasn't sick now.
so
should
what
not
is
be
it?
sick
So what is
now.
the principal tomorrow supposed to do? Then?
That's my question.
Well, again, I'm answering it. They got to go to work.
Nah. I don't want to hear bad news on that Zoom based on them doing what they told.
We understand that, Danny, but it's their decision to decide.
Well,
what
wait
they
a
do.
minute, what Dennis is saying is a general's job is on the battlefield. Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying
it's the wrong battlefield.
No, what I'm saying
It's
is
the wrong battlefield.
what I'm ultimately saying, Danny, is just like anything
I'm
else.
not losing none of those principles.
No, but here's
Every one of them
tell
is
y'all.
necessary.
A decision has to be made by anybody who decides to go back in the school. There are principals across the globe who saying, I'm not going back to work. I'm not putting my family or myself
Well,
in that
they
situation.
should go back to work on those terms.
But there are people who've made that decision. As leaders, our decision is to make that decision. If we choose to go,
How you gonna lead it if you're doing what you told?
But then, I mean, you talking about it doesn't discredit their leadership
I
because
don't
they
discredit
got
that.
a boss.
Again, we getting off what I'm saying. I'm not expecting them to do anything. I don't want to do something. I don't like that shit. I don't like it. And they can do what they want to do, and that's their choice, whatever. But I don't want to. I ain't gonna wait to see somebody get hurt to react. That's all I'm saying.
No question. But then
And this is a setup for somebody to get hurt.
Still keep in mind what we've been discussing over the past several months is it is a decision that they have to make. No one tells
But they don't
them.
have no options. I want to present an option.
Presenting an option. when they're not in control, it's not necessarily the thing to do.
The thing about it is, yeah, they're not in control because there is nobody else giving them an option. Right now, I just feel like I gotta do something. Who's at the door?
The guy that you, I don't know who he looks like.
Oh, there's the door?
He's in the bathroom now. So.
Like, man, to be fair. You know, again, I ain't knocking nobody. The question is, what can I do?
I think we're saying the same thing. I just think the bottom line is I think we got to figure out how we can control the schools. In these communities, I was listening to a podcast the other day, and they were talking about how the foreigners, when they come to America, they interact with the schools, and they actually turn up the value of the school by getting involved. I think our community has to get involved in the school system.
Just walk in, see maybe I say get here. Truly? Well, again, I'm gonna give you the McKinsey effect. My main question is, what can I do when the principals have to do what they gotta do? What can I do to protect those principals? Because I've become very close.
I'm a double McKeezy.
I ain't like what I was hearing.
I'm a double McKeezy.
We're double McKeezy.
Go fix the schools that we can fix. Harlem, Jersey, West Side, Aquacook. Just fix those. Just fix those.
First I'm talking about.
Here's my double McKeezy. Fix the schools that we can fix. Lay the model down, they will follow. You understand this. You lay models down that people follow. You're still following the model.
So Dennis, he said pick schools that you can fix. So can you?
But that still doesn't solve the problem of protecting kids. I mean, protecting the school leaders. That's your question. He's not wrong for what he's saying, but he didn't answer. The question was, what could you do for the principals to make sure that they remain safe and that things don't actually go left on them and we lose any of them to this dreaded disease, dreaded virus?
What's the answer to that?
Well, again, you can't. Then like people got to make their own decision about that. Ultimately,
I gotta do something.
yes, what you can do. So let me ask
I'm
you
gonna
that
tell you
question.
what
Tell me what you're gonna do.
I want to make this happen.
And then what? What does that have to do with the principals?
Because if the principals won't have to go to school, the kids can get educated from their house whenever they feel like it, and there'll be an
Oh, so the
alternative.
principals make the decision whether or not they stay home?
What I'm saying is there's an alternative that's presented at a senator or Congress level, which is an alternative to putting all of our good fighters and superheroes at risk. Then there is an opportunity for them to actually choose the option that's safer and more productive. But if nobody even tries, no one will know if they can make a change. So that's what I'm gonna do.
So are you assuming that no one is trying at this point?
I didn't say anything about anybody else. I said what I'm gonna do.
All right, but you said, but what? Tell me, come spell that out for me. I'm McKeezy. You spell it out for me. What you plan to do for my principals? Making sure my principals are safe.
I'm gonna tell you, there's an app that I have an idea about that will give an alternative to what's being presented to home education now. And if it works, hopefully it'll be used. So a principal could say, yo, instead of me going and risking everybody's life, here's an alternative. Because there's no other alternative, then they may have no choice but to use it or be accountable publicly. That's my plan.
So in your experience,
McKeezy effect.
So in your experience in the music industry,
Yeah, when I do it, everyone follows 100. In fashion, in music, in art, in culture,
but
I always have to lead.
But is it safe to say then that your people won't follow you right away?
Nah, it's safe to say that until it makes dollars, it don't make sense.
All right,
So I make it make dollars, and then it makes sense to everyone that's stupid. So soldiers wait to be told what to do. Generals do it first. They don't wait, and they have no apologies because there's no loss. It's always a learning experience. But as of yet, my generalism is always one for everyone around me. And I think this is the time.
So, I'm asking again, then, when we gonna get this done
Now.
for the principals?
I've been waiting for you to give me the curriculum. We can start taking the classes now. I can populate an app tomorrow. I'm that quick. I'm about that action.
All right, so when the principals get that in their hand, how long before they can quit their job? Or how long before the state is going to say to them, you know what, Dane was right, let's shut down the schools again?
That I can't tell you. But what I can tell you is I'm going to swing on it. If it land, it land. And if it does like it usually does, niggas get knocked out. That's what happens. So I always prepare for the
I
knockout.
respect that. I respect that. I respect that. That's respectful.
So you say it in the mic, nigga.
Well, I was saying I respect it because all you can do is swing. At the end of the day, I mean, listen, this is when you create new math, it's just got to get created. You're not gonna say it adds up until it's done. Most of the time, everything we're doing is all history. Rockefeller is history.
Rockefeller a long list of history.
Is history.
But right now,
Well, I think, Dane, one of the things that I would probably think would be a good idea is, I know you're heavy on Instagram, you're heavy on social media. I think it may be a good thing for you to start saying that more publicly to people.
that's what I'm saying right now.
No, I understand that's what we're saying right now, but I want to
You
say
lied.
it more frequently.
All right, well then the more y'all come around, the more I say.
All right. I mean, shit. You got your own.
Nah,
phone,
nah,
bro.
nah,
You
nah.
got-
You know, and my connects and my plugs are yours. Because you're only going to help others when y'all use it.
We appreciate that.
So then take advantage of it and go get an ass check.
I got all right.
He trying to showcase his ass. You know, I'm more mad that Billy Dam was here yesterday and we ain't work and y'all went to a party, but that's another story. So, again,
You gonna let that go, are you?
not yet. OSG Network, we got Dennis McKeezy Effect, we got Lays, Elliott, OG of the MOP movement, the Dame Dash of the MOP movement. He brought me into the education movement. Go figure. It's funny because you know, I was telling Dennis while you were having a panic attack over wealth. I had to run out my house.
When your bear got me sick, they got a bear in his house.
Call it bear.
I'm allergic to bears.
But anyway, I was saying that the one thing that you and I understand completely from the Fight Club is sometimes you gotta get punched to hit.
Gotta get punched.
And if you brace your face, you don't fall. So we know what's coming. Throw those punches. We will brace our face, but you better be sure we are swinging back.
Yeah, exactly.
And instinctually, that's how I'm built when I fight.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're fighting for love, you can't lose. And when you do it honorably, you can't lose. It will protect you. And everybody around me, y'all too, I've called. Y'all came with me to you came with me to Wyoming. We didn't quite need your service in that moment.
I'm good.
But I needed some educational muscle. And you saw how we fight. And you
Yeah.
saw how we punish those that hurt us.
No doubt.
Intention. When we get them in front of us. Thank you. You gotta, that stink ass scar. I understand what you meant by stinking up the whole fucking joint.
But no, Dave, I do think that, as much, I think, as passionate as you become about education and about school leaders across the nation, I think it's just really important that you begin to, continue to speak about it the way you do.
I'm not going to have Air Ock in the hospital, bro.
No doubt. And
There's no way I'm going to see that happen.
no question.
Yeah.
So,
Let me say this. Let me just say this. I've known Dame for a lot of years. I've known him before Rockefeller. I've known him when he was just out there doing his thing, and I've seen him, I've met him, and I would always walk and talk with Dame. And one thing I've always known, listen, I'm gonna say this to you. You talk about how fly you are. You talk about having the best shit, all this shit. One thing I know Dame Dash is he's a man of service. He's always been a man of service. He's not a man that's a self-serving individual. He serves his community. If his community is us in the studio, if his community is 100 principals, I think it's important that at this stage in our careers, and we've all been in this career for a lot of years, we've done amazing things. We've created a culture that the world follows. And all I'm saying to you, what you're doing now with principals, I commend it, and I think you're absolutely right. We just gotta swing for the fences, and we gotta figure out, and if it's gonna be an app, or if it's gonna be some virtual programming, or if it's gonna be a hologram, or whatever the hell we gotta do to teach these kids, the service that you're gonna put towards these children is really gonna dictate what the future's gonna hold for us as a community, as a people.
Thank you.
Anyone want to close it up?
Well, but I do want to just say again, one more thing. I think I speak on behalf of principals all across the country that understand that this work has been selfless for a long time for us. But I do think what you said is important. And I think people need to hear what all this means in the life of a principal who's sacrificing things every day. We talk about, I think, how this impacts children. We talk about how it impacts teachers. But I don't think we really get a chance to speak as much about what's going on in the principal's mind right now. And there's a great deal of them that are scared. There's a great deal of them that understand that it's about the kids.
They're smart.
They're smart.
The question is, if your kid can only go to school 2 or 3 times a week, who's gonna watch him on the other days while you at work? What about that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no question.
I heard a principal speak on that, and that shit was logical to me. I was like, damn, that's a problem. How is a parent gonna work? Because basically school is used as almost a babysitter while a parent goes to work.
That is true.
And if now these kids gotta be educated at home, who's gonna watch the little kids at home? Especially at home where the kid actually uses school as an escape.
And
That's just, I don't even have no answer.
And that's most certainly
I had no answer, bro.
you know, to do with these apps. We got some work to do with, you know, some programming and some.
And we gotta build some schools.
And some OSG.
We gotta build some
OSG
schools.
stuff.
We gotta
You know,
build some schools.
But here's the thing. You know, I try to keep things real simple. Before we build a school that may take years, let's talk about what we're gonna do right now. And I do think that we just gotta continue to bring attention to what this all means for well-being. Right now, I think we're not hearing enough about them and the mental state that many of them have to transition in and out of every day. You know, they got to be strong for everybody while at school, and then at the same time be strong for their family as well. And that becomes one of the biggest challenges. But I just think the more attention we bring to it, the more noise we make about it, is the more people will stand at attention and know that we're.
That logo. Yeah, that shit is dope.
You had a lot to do with that logo.
Absolutely. I appreciate it. And
Oh, you gonna show them a little jacket there, huh?
you know what I mean?
Little OSG jacket there.
You gotta, when you smart, you got swag.
No doubt. You got the Dusto.
You feel me?
Got the Dusto under the collar. We see you.
All that.
We see you.
You feel me? All right, Chuck.
So if y'all want to know how serious Dame is about, you know, his passion for schools and school leaders, but again, just look at the pride on his face right now, rocking his jacket. We ain't seen this man this happy in a very long time. He's never been down, but we can definitely tell you, I haven't seen Dame this happy as I've seen him in the last 3-4 months, messing around with these principals and stuff like that. So he gets to see.
You can find around some smart people.
Yeah.
Sick of fucking talking to dumbasses.
Not only smart, but the dope ass people, Dame.
Yeah, that's
Say it right.
Well, dope ass means smart.
All right.
It's logic.
Salute. All right. Salute, y'all.